Hey everyone, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. Today is April 5th, 2022. I have a ton of stuff to show you guys today, so I'm just going to jump right into it. First off, I want to do a giveaway. I was not prepared in my last video to do a giveaway, but I'm going to do a giveaway because I have reached over 2,000 subscribers, which is it's crazy. I really don't know what to say.
Inconceivable. Inconceivable. Inconceivable.
Yeah, so anyways, I have 3 giveaways I'm gonna do, and the first 2 are for all of the fancy lady people who are out there that watch me. The first giveaway, and one of these is from my own personal stash, and one of these is courtesy of my Flosstube friend Patty, who sent me a bunch of patterns. The first one is a lavender lace called Guardian Angel, and if you would like this pattern, you can say the word, I guess, baby, because there's a baby. I would say angel, but the next pattern also has an angel in it too. So say baby, B-A-B-Y. The next pattern I'm going to do a giveaway for is called Angel of the Sea. And if you want this pattern, use the word sea in your comment, S-E-A. And my last giveaway is for everyone out there who is not into fancy ladies and who watches my channel. The last giveaway is for basically me to buy something $20 or less off of your 1 to 3 stitch wish list. So in order to enter that giveaway, you need to have a 1 to 3 stitch wish list, and you need to have something that is $20 or less on your wish list. And if you would like to enter that giveaway, put wish in your comment, W-I-S-H. So all of the standard rules, giveaway rules apply. Don't use the word giveaway. You must be 18 or older, as you'll need to give me your address to mail these things. Subscribe to my channel. I'd like this giveaway to go to a subscriber. I think that's it. Yeah, subscribe, like the video. That's it. Yeah, so yeah, you can enter all 3, but you'll only be able to win 1. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is my friend Mary, the Daydream Stitcher. If you're not watching Mary, you need to go watch Mary. She's lovely. I would argue that she's probably the nicest person on Flosstube. Yeah, if you have Mary as a friend, you consider yourself very lucky. Anyways, Mary recently did a video about all of the Flosstubers she's watching. Well, not all of the Flosstubers. I think there was 22 Flosstubers to watch in 2022. And she basically did a montage of different Flosstubers. She took video clips and then did voiceovers and talked about each Flosstuber. And I thought that was an ingenious idea. It was probably a ton of work, a ton of editing work. Yeah, it was an amazing idea, and I messaged Mary because I was in her video. I messaged her to thank her, and we got talking about just shoutouts in general. And I know when I first started watching Flosstube, I think it was like the end of 2016 that I started watching Flosstube. At that time, shoutouts were just really a standard thing in people's videos. Everyone did shoutouts. And I know over the years, I mean, there's still a lot of people that faithfully shout out other Flosstubers, but it's become less and less. You don't really see shoutouts as much in videos, and I have been actually guilty of that. I typically mention people in passing when I'm talking about something, but I haven't been proactive about doing shoutouts for people. And shoutouts are good, not just, I guess they have a dual purpose. They're good in that they help you know, you guys as viewers find more content to watch, because as we all know, YouTube really sucks at recommending floss tubers, especially new floss tubers. But it's also a way to help some of these newer people or people in the Flosstube community that a lot of people may not know about. It's another way to just kind of welcome them into the community and say, hey, we're watching you and we're glad you're here. So I'm going to be proactive from now on. I know when I had my channel before, I was very proactive to do shoutouts, but you know, I'm gonna do shoutouts in all of my videos. So I have 2 shoutouts for you today. The first one is, her name is Deb, and her channel is called The Traveling Stocking Stitcher. And I'll put all the shoutouts below in the description box. And I was drawn to Deb's channel for one reason, and that was one word in the title of her channel, stocking. I figured if she's putting stocking in the title of her channel, she stitches a lot of stockings. She must, and she does. She's done some amazing things with stockings. I won't tell you too much so that I won't spoil the surprise, but she also is very talented in converting patterns. She's done some amazing conversions of the lavender and lace Celtic ladies. Yeah, she's amazing stitcher. I think I've seen 2 of her videos. I just noticed she posted a 3rd video, so I have it on my to watch list for sure. So I would say if you like watching my channel, you will definitely like watching Deb's channel, because she's officially been dubbed by me my stitching twin. She stitches everything that I would stitch. Yeah, you will like her. If you enjoy my channel, I'm sure you will enjoy Deb. Anyways, yeah, go check her out. The second shout out I want to give is for Marlene at Pastime Pieces. And Marlene, I met this weekend at the Stitch North retreat. I had the opportunity to chat with her for well over an hour. And her channel is called Pastime Pieces, but she's also the owner of Pastime Pieces here in Ontario, which originally started out as a quilting shop, and then she added wool applique, and now she's gone headfirst into cross stitch. She has tons of cross stitch stuff, and she's a prolific stitcher, but she's also an amazing, amazing wool applique designer. If you go over to her video, she shows 2 wool applique designs at the end of her video, and both of them she's designed, and they're fabulous. And in my haul later on, I'm going to show you a couple that I bought because they were just so beautiful. I just had to buy them. So yeah, go over and subscribe to Marlene. She's lovely. She has a lot of really neat finishes in her video. Again, I'll link her below. So those are my shoutouts for this video. The next thing I'm going to get onto is my whips. I don't have any finishes, but I have 5 whips. So the first one I'm going to show you, which I'm sure you guys are all probably sick of seeing, is my Mill Hill Christmas Village. I'm keeping up my one a month. The one that I did for March is the Cathedral. I think it's just called the Cathedral. And I thought this one was going to be a quick stitch because there's very little stitching. I don't know if you can see, but all of these boxes are where beads are going to go. So I figured, oh, this will be a quick stitch because there's not that much stitching. There is a lot of Kraftnkris. This is all Kraftnkris in the windows, so that took a bit of time. But yeah, I was mistaken. This took me a while because I kept having to rip out a ton of mistakes because I was miscounting when I was counting over from where there were beads. So that one took much longer than I anticipated. So that was my March house. The next one, I think it's the next house in the series. It's not I've stitched the Queen Anne's house. I can't remember the name of it. It's the other house that's in the series. Anyways, you'll see it next month. the next thing that I worked on was, I just call this cat and lady piece because the pattern name's in Russian. I don't know what it translates to, but it's from Shirova Stitch. And I got a fair bit done on this since the last time you saw it. So I pretty much finished. Let me just fold this up again. Pretty much finished the dress. There's still some ninja stitches in here I have to do. I did the shadowing. I have to come back up and finish the cat and the rest of her hair. And then there's a ton of back stitching on this. So I'm kind of hoping by the time I do a video next time, I'll have the back stitching, the stitching and the back stitching done. So there's that piece. Next thing I stitched on, actually this is not in order. This is not in the order that I stitched it, but the only piece that I worked on at Stitch North was my Lady of the Mist, and I had, it's not focusing. It probably doesn't look very, it doesn't probably look different from the last time you saw it, but I had a ton of spots that I outlined. So I should use my board. I had a ton of spots that I had outlined all in here, and in here, and I just basically did the fill-in at Stitch North, so I didn't have to count. I highly, highly recommend if you're going to a retreat to try to outline and prep your piece before you go, so that all you're doing is filling in and not having to follow a pattern. Because when I did kind of finish the fill-in part and I went over here and I was counting, because you're chatting and then you're counting, I made a lot of mistakes and I had to rip it out. So yeah, I recommend doing that. So there's that piece. I did have a new start since my last video, and it was none of the new starts that I showed you in my I guess kit parade or stash parade. And I've got a thread stuck. Decided to start Rose Arbor by Mirabilia. And I'm really just showing you the fabric I'm putting on it because it's a pathetic start. I think I have less than 100 stitches. I don't even know which way is up or which way is down, but anyways, there it is. I'm stitching it on Summer Breeze Lugana by Pole Stitches. But basically I'm just showing you the color fabric I'm putting. There's really nothing there to look at. I also had a very weak start on the Fox Luca S kit that I showed in my last video. Very, very small start. It's upstairs. It wasn't worth bringing down to show you guys. And then the last piece that I worked on, Flosstube itchy nose, was my Cinderella piece. And this is going to be my focus piece for a while because I'm kind of building momentum because I'm getting close to the finish line. So I put in about 4,000 stitches on it since my last video. So let me get the part threads out of the way. So I basically finished, I did 1, 2, 3, basically did all this section here, and it's not focusing. Focus, there we go. So I'm kind of on the home stretch. There's about roughly 8,000 stitches to go on this one. However, I do have a ton of back stitching and all of the French knots. I did some of the back stitching here in the castle. I've done some of the back stitching here on these mice here, but pretty much all of the back stitching here I have yet to do. So this is getting finished this year. I am determined. I think I was chatting with Jessie from Bobo Jessie Stitches, and we've made a pact. We're going to finish this year. Although she was smarter than I was. She did the back stitching and the French knots as she went. So it's going to be a bit of a, I think it's going to be a bit of a chore to go back and do the back stitching and French knots. Anyways, that's, oh, and this is a Thomas Kincaid Disney Dream Collection kit, although I'm really only using the pattern. I've subbed out the floss and the fabric. The floss is DMC and the fabric is a 32 count Lugana. I highly recommend that if you do get these kits, you sub out the materials. That's just my opinion. Some people do use the kit materials. That's totally fine. I found that the fabric in my kit was not big enough, and the floss in my kit, well, number one, a lot of the colors were incorrect. They weren't even the correct colors on the key, and they were very they were poor quality. They weren't as vibrant as the DMC. The coverage was very poor, and they would shred. They would, I mean, they were constantly breaking as I pulled it through the fabric. So my opinion would be to sub out the materials. But that's just me. If you're using the materials, that's you. That's good. So there it is. So those are the 4 projects that I worked on. My plan is to continue to work on my village. I'm going to do the one house on, I'm going to do my April house, because I'm doing one of them a month to be, basically by the end of the year, I will be finished all the stitching on the buildings. And then I'm going to aim to finish, I know I said in my last video I was going to do 2 rows of my Disney Dream. I'm probably going to aim to do 3. If I do 3 this month, and then in May, typically I do monogamous May every year. I'm probably going to still do my village, and then I'll probably work the rest of the month to finish the other 4,000 or 5,000 stitches, which is like 4 rows. So that's kind of my plan. Okay, and then once I get that done in April, because we're in April, we're not in May, I'm skipping ahead a month, I'll probably put in the 2 more days on my Rose of Sharon. I'm going to put in 2 more days in on that, and I'll try and finish the Girl with Cat piece. So those are my whips that I've been working on. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is my my non-Stitch North haul, which is not very much. There's only about 4 things. 4 things? Yeah, 4 things. Oh no, there's a few more things, but I'll show them in my next video because I didn't print them out. They were PDF patterns. So this first piece of haul is, I have a little bit of angst over this piece of haul. So I've been watching Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher. If you're not watching her, go watch her. She's fabulous. And in her videos, not all of her videos, because sometimes she has different lavender and lace pieces in the background, but in one of her videos, she shows the lavender and lace firefly fairies. And I was watching her one day and I'm like, oh, I gotta kit that up. I'm gonna pick out some fabric and get it ready to go. And anyways, I basically ripped this room apart trying to find that pattern. I know that I have that pattern. I remember buying it. It's not a pattern that's readily available. It's out of print. So it's typically on the pricier side on eBay if you're looking for it. So I was very frustrated that I could not find this pattern. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go out on eBay and see if there's any out there that are reasonably priced, because I was not going to pay ridiculous prices for this pattern. And fortunately, I did. I went out and it was it was an Ontario seller, and she was selling it for $11 with Canadian postage. So it was very, very reasonable. So there it is there. And as I was preparing to come to Stitch North, guess what I found? Isn't that the way? You look and look, you know you have it, you can't find it. And I bought one and then I found the second. So this is going to be a giveaway once, if ever I reach 3,000 subscribers. So stay tuned. So that was my first piece of haul. My next piece of haul is from, and I believe I showed, I don't know if it was my last video. Yeah, I think it was my last video. I showed these in my last video. Svetlana Sikar. I know that's not her Etsy shop. What does it say? Her Etsy shop is Patterns by S.A. Stitch. I'll link it below in case you're interested. But she released another animal and clothing. And this was also part of my Stitch Ukraine purchases. I know there was a plug to buy from Ukrainian designers. I have been buying patterns from Ukrainian and Russian designers because the people in Russia are suffering too, and they are not responsible for the stupidity of their leaders. So I'm going to continue to support both Ukrainian and Russian designers. But I did not print out the patterns that I bought from them, so I'll show them next time so I don't have to insert pictures. But yeah, this is Svetlana Sikar. It's just called Polar Bear. So I highly encourage, continue to go and support these designers. Yeah, I'm not going to get into talking about it. It's awful what's going on over there. My heart goes out to everyone in that region of the world. The next thing I have is my floss from Hand Dyed. This is my floss of the month from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And oh, it doesn't have her Etsy address there, but there's that. And then I also bought a piece of fabric. Let me take it out. Oh, sorry, crinkle. A piece of fabric from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I really have no business buying any more of her fabric, but I just can't help myself. And no, it's not. It's blowing out a bit. It's got blues and purples and yellows in it, but you're not really seeing in the lighting. Anyways, just take my word for it. It's stunning. It's beautiful. What is it? It's a 32 count Lagana. And actually, speaking of Hand Dyed by Rolanda, I had like the biggest fangirl moment at Stitch North because she was sitting at the table next to me. So I went over and talked to her, told her I'm obsessed with her fabric. I'm sure a lot of people are obsessed with her fabric, but I had a nice chat with her. It was lovely meeting her. So that is all of my non-Stitch North haul. And some of you may be like, what is Stitch North? You've mentioned it a few times. So Stitch North was a cross-stitch retreat hosted by Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts. And her shop is called Evertotes. So she held a retreat this past weekend in Brampton, Ontario. And it was my very first cross-stitch retreat. I've never been to a cross-stitch retreat, so I have nothing to compare it to, but it was fantastic. For this being Caroline's first retreat, she knows how to do a retreat. So props to her. She did a fantastic job. I remember she said at I don't know if it was on the Facebook group or they sent out an email sort of outlining the vendors, and I can't remember word for word, but she said, oh, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much shopping. And I remember reading that and being disappointed. I'm like, but I want to be overwhelmed by shopping. Like, give me all the shopping you can. So I was a little bit disappointed, but then when I showed up, there was a lot of shopping. Like, I don't know, I want to see what her overwhelming shopping would be, because there were like 10, well, I think there were 8 official vendors, but then there were a couple vendors that had set up on the side. Like, they were attendees, but they had set up little mini shops near their tables. So there was a ton of shopping. Like, I was not disappointed. And it was nice because everything was in the hotel. Everything was there. We stayed in the hotel. All the pop-up shops were in the hotel. The stitching room was in the hotel. And it was like, you walk outside the hotel and there was tons of restaurants, and there was a Tim Hortons. And so yeah, it was really, really nice, really convenient. It only took me about an hour to get there, so it wasn't a lot of travel time. So yeah, so I'm not going to go through like the swag bag or anything, but we got this Evertote project bag, and there was all sorts of stuff. I won't go through it all because I know there's probably other people who can do it better than me. But there was needle minders and a corner gauge. Like, there was this little corner gauge from Pastime Pieces. The Marlene, who I mentioned earlier, there's like needle minders, and there was a kit from, I'm gonna screw, Brim. I don't know if it's Bryn and Needle. They were a fabric and floss dyer, but there's like a little kit, full kit with the fabric and the floss and the pattern. And then there was, I just said I wasn't going to go through the swag bag. I'm going through the swag bag. So, oh well. Tiny Modernist donate. There were patterns from Tiny Modernist, and then there was the Stitch North. I'll just flash it. The Stitch North Retreat pattern that came with some Leo and Roxy floss. So yeah, it was a really, really nice swag bag. Yeah, and the vendors, there was floss dyers and fabric dyers. There were bag makers, needle minder makers. Like I said, Marlene from Pastime Pieces had like, you know, she had a ton of stuff from her shop. It was like a mini L&S. She had fabric and tons of patterns. She had gone to National Needlework Market, which is a real treat for Canadians because I think Traditional Stitches goes to Nashville Needlework Market. Wow, that's a mouthful. But in Ontario, our L&S shops don't do that, so it takes us some time to get stuff from Nashville up to Canada. So she had a lot of the new releases. She had felt applique, wool applique quilt kits. What else did she have? Fat quarters. She had a ton of stuff, just a ton of stuff, which I'll show you in a minute because I pretty much spent all of my money in her shop. But I also got a bunch of lovely gifts from some Flosstube friends that were there. So the first gift I got was from a lovely Flosstube friend that I've been chatting with for, it feels like a couple years now. It's been a while. I've never met her, but I've been chatting with her for a while and watching her videos. And her name is Chris. Her channel name is called Kraftnkris. And she made me this lovely card and she put a lovely note inside, which was very thoughtful. And back last year, and I actually have it here because I brought it out to show you guys, I had purchased a project bag from her shop because she makes project bags. She makes all sorts of things, like she makes the covers for magnifying glasses, and she has like these little mats. Well, I'll show you the one thing that she does have in her shop because she gave me one as a gift. But I bought this bag from her shop last year. This is my favorite project bag, and I usually make my own project bags, but I would never attempt to make this. I would butcher it. Oh, and I'm just smacking myself in the face with it. I would butcher making something like this. And she, like, her sewing is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. But it's basically a project portfolio. You open it up and there's a bag on this side to hold a project. And then there's a bag on this side. I'm keeping my Cinderella project in this one. And then there's this middle insert that you can unzip. Like, you can unzip this. And she has project bags that are like multiple. You can have like multiple inserts in. I have a bag that you can only put one insert in. But on the one side it's got like this little notions pouch where you can put stuff in. And then I don't know if you can see, it has like these little loops to put your fancy floss rings on. And then on the other side is basically a floss holder. And like, no joke, like, her sewing is perfect. Like, it's fantastic. The quality is amazing. And then you just fold it up, and she's got this little loop. I can do it. And there you go. You have your whole project in like this portfolio. So I bought this from her last year from her shop. And so she came to the retreat, and she made me a little matching notions pouch. And she had like a bag of treats, which I've eaten. I haven't eaten all of them, but I've eaten a good number of them. And then she made me this. This is one thing I think she's just started selling in her shop. It's like a little coaster for your drink, and then you have a needle minder, and then you can put like floss that you haven't wound back up yet, or orts or whatever, and then it just folds up. And then a little notions pouch. So I thought that was so sweet. Like, I was speechless when she gave it to me. So that was really lovely. So thank you, Chris. That was very thoughtful. And then my friend Joanne, who I met at the Hamilton Stitch group, she made me this little name tag button, and it's not going to focus with my name on it. So thank you, Joanne. That was very thoughtful. I have some other little crafty things she's given to the Stitch group in the past. And then I didn't realize, and not everyone did this, but I thought it was kind of a neat idea, but some people give out like little gifts to their table mates, like little, some people it was floss tags. I know one lady made needle books and gave them to people. And being my first retreat, I didn't know that was a thing. So at my table, so for most of the weekend I sat with Kim, her and her daughter. Her channel is Crafty Kim here on Flosstube. She hasn't made a video in a while, so we were trying to convince her she needs to make a video. But yeah, so I sat with Kim and her daughter, and then I sat with Jen and Allison. They are their channel is called Stitching Social, and their mom, Mary Helen. And Mary Helen was giving out these little floss tags. So pretty floss tags, cute little bag. And Jen was giving out these little trims to everyone. So I thought that was such a neat idea. And then I finally got to meet Kathleen from Situation Normal. I've been chatting with her on Instagram because she's a local to me stitcher. So I finally got to meet her and chat with her. So that was really nice. And she was handing out, if you can see it, these little hand sanitizers. And she stuck her little, I think she says this at the end of her videos, keep stitching your story. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea too. So yeah, so those were all of my gifts, swag bag, and now I'm going to get into my purchases. Hang on to your hats. It's actually not that bad. Yeah. Okay, so I only bought one thing from, other than Pastime Pieces, I only bought one thing from another vendor, and that was from Cheryl. Tiny Modernist was there selling patterns. She had all her models of most of her new releases. So I bought the Wizard of Oz tree. That was really cute. The model was really, really cute. And then the rest of what I bought was from Pastime Pieces. And I'll get through the patterns first. So there were a bunch of patterns. Some were market and some were just ones that I had on my wish list. I've had on my wish list for a while, and I just bit the bullet and I bought them. So this one is Love is in the Air. It's by Blackbird Designs, the stockings. I'm sure everybody has seen these. And Marlene had them stitched up too as models. They were really, really pretty. And then I bought the Jelly Bean Jubilee by Brenda Gervais. Another one I've been wanting to buy. And then I bought the raccoon from Cottage Garden Sampling. He's really cute. I have the fox, and I want to get the ferret. I wasn't too keen on the swans. I'm not sure what the other one was. Oh, the rabbit. I didn't mind the rabbit actually. And then the last non-piece of market haul was The Fourth Day of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. I want to stitch this one here. I don't know if I'd stitch the big one. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I really wanted to try making that tree though. And then the other 3 pieces were market releases. This one is Berry Patch by Hello from Liz Matthews. I just love the bunny. It's really cute. These flowers are pretty. And this one, I'm pretty sure this was a market release. It's called The Rabbit and the Rose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was. I would probably brighten up. Typically with Blackbird Designs and Brenda Gervais, I brighten the colors up as opposed to having it look kind of primitive. And then the last one, which I think I've seen a lot of people on Flosstube purchase, is Plum Street Samplers, This Is the Day. And I bought this. This kind of brought me back to Sunday school. You know the song. I'm not going to sing it, but you guys all know it. If you went to Sunday school in the 70s and 80s, you would know the song I'm referring to. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And the house is so pretty. What else? Oh, there's goats. I didn't even notice there was goats on that. Oh, and there's a flying goat. Oh my gosh. You can't even see it. That is cute. Okay. And then before I get into the rabbit hole I went down, I did end up buying, Marlene had fat quarter bundles of the Teresa Kogut fabric for the Love of Nature, which I'm stitching right now. I have it as a whip. I'm not going to pull them all out, but I thought it'd be neat to make a project bag out of some of them, but some of them are really nice for finishing. I've kind of become a bit of a back quarter hoarder, along with a lot of other things. Oh, this one's nice. Yeah, it's a nice color, nice burgundy. And there's the trees. Anyways, I got that. And then I decided to go down the path of wool applique, which I think a lot of people in the cross-stitching community are going down. So I bought these scissors, very, very pointy and sharp. I think these are specifically for, oh, it says multi-purpose, but I think they're very good for cutting like the small cuts in wool applique. And then these are my first, what I would call like bougie, because I've done Bucilla kits, but they're felt. These are the fancy applique kits. I can't talk tonight, jeez. So this is from Under the Garden Moon, and she had the model made. It's like a biscornu. It was so cute. It's got the bunny, and it's got a bird, and a squirrel, and a mushroom, ladybug. It was the cutest thing. And it's fully kitted up. It's got the button, and I don't know if Marlene kits this one up herself, because she dyes her own wool for her wool applique, the ones that she designs. I don't know if she kitted this up herself or if it came like this with the pattern. But anyways, I thought that one was cute. And then these are the kits that Marlene designed. And again, pictures don't really do justice to these things. She had the models. She had the models there, and they were so cute. So this is just a table mat, and she had all 4 seasons, but I just got summer because I liked the watermelon, the sunflowers, and the little bird. It was so cute. I may splurge at some point and get the other seasons, but there's all the wool for that. And then I got the Christmas one because, you know, Christmas, I have to have everything Christmas. And I don't know if you can see it. Focus. And it's got the poinsettia and the dove. And yeah, it's a full kit. It's got all the wool and the pattern. And that was all I bought. That was all I bought. Yeah, it was enough. So yeah, that was, in a nutshell, that's what I've been up to for the past month. And it's kind of a recap of my retreat and my retreat haul. I definitely recommend going to a retreat. I know Caroline's retreat was not full. I think she said she had another 50 or 60 spots that were not full, but I suspect that those will fill up next year, especially as things with COVID relax. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. So I'm going to end the video here, and hopefully I will see you guys in a month with an update. Take care.